Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy D Bellboy, aka Mr. Black Ranger, and I'm back dropping some more Genesis hero vids. So the last time we kept our cool with Elvira, and her kit showed pretty much why she doesn't crack under pressure. Literally, with her ability to crowd control the enemy team as well as a personal self-heal, she's pretty much a solid addition to honestly practically any team that she's on. Alright, so this is what I like to call the shameless plug portion of the video, where I ask you to, like the video or leave a comment or subscribe, and if you do, then hit like the bell to get notified whenever I upload videos and all. But I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, so for our next hero on the list, though, we're about to warm things up a little bit since we were in the frigid cold with Elvira. We're gonna turn it up a notch, and we're about to get our with some smoking hot flames from Flamas. All right, so getting into it now with Flamas. So they describe him as a mage, but I just put pusher because, again, that's just the standard term for mages. He's gonna be your mid laner, so to speak. So let's go ahead and hop into that background now. Blessed with natural fire-wielding abilities, Flamas can summon flames with insatiable hunger. And a little bit of background now. No one knows the origin of Flamas. Some say he was made of silicone, born from a star at the end of its lifespan. For millennia, Flamas feasted on the energy from the dying red giant that was his home planet. He felt no sadness, only the hunger for more. Thus Flamas went on his conquest of flame, consuming planet after planet on his pillage across the universe. Life in the universe are far and apart, and very few can stand up to the powerful being that is Flamas. Civilizations that have barely invented the wheel died a painful death along with their planet. Space pirates who lost their way were turned to ash before they could even ask Flamas to point the way home. He was unstoppable until he wandered into the Targasus Alliance space. Their superior number and tech defeated Flamas, and just when he was about to be captured, Hades, who has been monitoring Flamas, snatched him away to be used for his own devious purposes. Hades wants Flamas to join the Shadow Enclave, promising to give Flamas all the power he would ever desire. So I got a little bit of the evil backstory going on here now, but apparently Flamas is just pretty much like Galactus, just hulking, walking through space, just eating stuff to survive. But that's not what we're here for. What we're here for is to move on to these skills, these hot skills. So, Flamas's main skill, Inferno. Well, skill number 1, Inferno. Flamas launches an Inferno ahead of him, dealing damage to enemy units. Its energy cost, respectively, is 80, 90, 100, and 110. The cooldown is 8 seconds, 7, 6, and 5 respectively. His second skill is Magma Quake. Flamas calls forth a Magma Quake, damaging and stunning enemy units in the target area. The energy cost respectively is 60, 70, 80, and 90, as well as the cooldown respectively. It's 8 seconds, 7, 6, and 5. His third skill is a passive skill. It's called Soul of Flame. It increases Flamas' movement speed each time he uses an ability. Enemies who take damage from him have their energy resistance reduced. The effect stacks until maximum stack is reached. And then lastly, his ultimate ability, or skill 4, is Nova Blast. Flamas fires a pyroblast at an enemy target, dealing massive damage. The energy cost for that is 250, 400, and 550 respectively, with a cooldown of 60 seconds, 45, and 30. respectively. And honestly, like when I look at it though, his Nova Blast, it almost reminds me of Graham from Paragon, that the GTFO orb is blasting people right out of the air with that thing. Love that. Graham was my favorite carry, by the way. But moving on to the standard recommended loadout for him, they have Reatomizer. It costs 5,175 gold, gives plus 70 energy damage, plus 200 health, plus 500 energy, plus 3.5 energy regen. It's active, reshape, turns a unit into a harmless sheep, and slows it for 2.5 seconds. Next up, movement item is Quantum Jumper, costs 2,700 gold, gives plus 80 movement speed. The active, Teleport, instantly teleports the user in the direction they are facing for a distance of 900. Cannot be used for 3 seconds after taking damage from an enemy hero. Third item is Radiant Shield. It costs 4,800 gold, gives plus 40 energy damage, plus 800 energy, and its active, Safeguard, grants a shield equal to 30% of your current energy for 3.5 seconds. Effect triggers when your health falls below 25%. Scepter of Zeus costs 4,700 gold, gives plus 60 energy damage, plus 250 health, plus 400 energy, plus 7% movement speed. Passive, Divine Wrath. Every 4.5 seconds, Divine Wrath strikes a random enemy in a 650 radius around the wearer. Divine Wrath deals 30 plus whatever your energy damage right now is times 0.3 energy damage, and reduces the enemy's energy resistance by 15 for 2 seconds. The effect can be stacked 3 times. Each time the wearer travels a distance of 240, the cooldown of Divine Wrath is reduced by 1 second, with a minimum of 2 seconds as its shortest cooldown. Fifth item here is going to be the Helm of Hades. It costs 5,500 gold, gives plus 60 energy damage, plus 20% cooldown reduction. With the passive Curse, abilities deal additional energy damage equivalent to 7% of the target's current health. Has a cooldown of 2.5 seconds when multiple abilities are used against a single target. And additional damage is capped at 350. And lastly, it's Chronos Switch, which costs 5,300 gold, gives plus 60 energy damage, plus 400 energy, plus 5 health regen, and plus 5 energy regen. With the active Reset, resets the cooldowns of all abilities. So yeah, not bad. Honestly, sir, your typical mage, caster, pusher build. You got the Reatomizer there, allows you, if you let's say you're pushing up the mid lane, or you're pushing a lane, somebody tries to gank you, you can always just turn the ganker into a sheep, help you get away, or either in a team fight, again, pop it at whoever's the biggest threat. Go ahead, turn them into a sheep. You can pretty much eliminate him from the team fight. Quantum Jumper, again, self-explanatory. Teleports to get you in, teleports to get you out. Same with Radiant Shield. Once you're being a caster, a mage, generally you do have a little bit lower health. You're not that squishy, but you are kind of squishy. So again, a shield equal to 30% of your current energy for 3.5 seconds when your health falls below 25%. Not bad. Again, not a bad escape tool. Scepter of Zeus, literally the Divine Wrath on there. It's just another way for you to get extra energy damage out around every 4.5, well, every 2 to 4.5 seconds, depending on how fast you move. And then as well, it lowers the enemy energy resistance by 15. And if you manage to stack it up to 3 times, their energy resistance is lowered by 45. The Helm of Hades, again, you're a caster, so that just pretty much helps you deal more damage. It's capped up to 350, but still 350, especially against somebody with a bigger health pool, is a lot of damage. So it's like I said, it's one of those things. If you're facing like a fighter or a tank, just gives you a little bit of extra burst. And lastly, Chronos Switch, which is again self-explanatory. Literally resets all your resets the cooldowns of all your abilities. You're a caster. You're only as good as the skills you have active and available to use at the time. So yeah, why not throw that in there so you can reset your skills when you need them. And last on the list that we're taking a look at here is going to be the skill order for Flamas. So again, starting off, you're going to take Inferno. Inferno is pretty much going to be your main damaging tool, so you're going to level that up evenly, like it shows. You're going to take it at level 1, and then you're just going to evenly spread it out between level 3, 5, and 7. That way by the mid game it's going to be max, because again, that's going to be your main source of damage. Magma Quake you're going to take on at level 2. It's generally, from what you saw in the video, it's you activate it, and then it's once it's activated, it's gonna hit wherever the last location that the person the enemy hero was in, where you put it down at. So, you know, nice little early game extra deeps. Not really too big into the kit until once you get around mid game, where you take it your last 3 levels at level 8, 9, and 10 to go ahead and give you a little bit of extra deeps. Soul of Flame you're gonna take at level 4. The passive of what it gives you for the start of the game, it should be more than enough to go ahead and get you through about the beginning to the mid game. As you see, once you hit level 12, 13, 14 around the end game, you're gonna want to go ahead and take those last 3 levels. That way you can go ahead and start getting up to your stacks faster. And then lastly, the ultimate Nova Blast, again, same thing, level 6, 11, and 16 respectively, so you can power that up. Excuse me. And that is going to do it for Flamas. So really, again, honestly, he's a really simple caster. Nothing too over the top. Nothing that hard to remember. Just kind of a quick, simple throw down your abilities, deal the damage, and then kind of get out with the loadout that we got. You know, reset your cooldowns, and so you can always have your skills to be using. So yeah, nothing too, like I said, nothing too good, nothing too bad about him. Nice overall, even balanced hero. Gotta see how high his scaling is once the main game comes out, but overall, nothing to kind of, you know, be over the top about with it. So that's gonna do it for this video. Again, guys, you know, if you like it, hit that thumbs up. If not, you don't have to. Just glad that you watched. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the bell so you can stay updated when I upload. And we're out of here, guys. And like always, just remember that we're always good like grandma's cookies.